Hey guys, today we're doing something different, as I always say, but for real, we are. Today we're gonna watch Baldermort. I hope I'm saying that right, because you guys have been clamoring for it. You've been asking me. This is over them like Bricky, Pancreas. Occasionally that they were going to for Mr. Bones. The other one that comes up is Baldermort. The most that I hear is Baldermort. So I'm hoping this is good. I'm hoping so. You guys voted for Salamanders. I have a weird suspicion you're trying to get me to do all the green factions first. You told me to do the Dark Angels, now the Salamanders. Next, there'll be another green chapter. I swear to God. Anyway, let's get into it. Damn, what a title screen. What a title screen.
Into the fires of battle. Unto
Oh God. Is that his actual voice? Who's he putting that on? Because that's extreme.
the anvil of war. That is what we say.
Oh?
As the sun sets, I stand on the battlements, and I watch for the first sign. I do not wait long. They crest the horizon, the darkness of night ablaze with their advent. They all carry torches, burning bundles of wood. It lights the night like a snake of fire as they run.
I'm so lost. We're 50 seconds in and I'm already so fucking lost.
Toward us. The orc column will be here within.
I recognized orc. I recognize the word orc in there.
Hour. The snake of light, of fire, reminds me. It reminds me of the trenches of lava flows that come from the volcanoes of my homeworld, Nocturne. It reminds me of...
Wait. If this is Salamanders, I thought, wasn't it the planet their homeworld called Vulcan, right? I'm pretty sure, right? It's Star Trek?
I am fighting. It reminds me of my forge, my place, my kith, my kin. It reminds me of a joyous day. They had waited. They think I do them honor, but it is I who is honored.
Is this the whole video? Because I have no idea what's happening. I'm going to be real, I'm so lost. But if this is the whole video, you guys are not safe in this video.
I walk into their home, the home of the sons of my father, the daughters of my mother. Though this has not literally been true for hundreds of years, they still request my presence, for we are family. Most of our cousins, the other Astarte.
This just keeps going and going, and I'm like, I don't know what is happening. I'm paying attention to what he's saying, but it makes no sense.
Do not know this warmth. Do not permit their number to retain these ties. They know not what they sacrifice, for they sacrifice purpose. I stoop to pass the door. I wear not my panoply of war, my armor, my weapons. I wear my robes, the robes of the cult of Prometheus. Yet, despite my similar attire, we do not look alike. I tower over all,
so confused.
Yet none flinch or retreat from my presence. I am met with reverent bows out of respect.
Okay. So you're like a lord then, right?
But all the faces that raise to meet my eye are adorned with the glory of light, of smiles. The warmth of family beams from them. It bathes me. It heals me. It makes me stronger than any of my cousins can fathom. They lose so much. They never have this. The ritual is short. I fear that it is almost being...
Wait. What ritual? Where did the ritual come into this? I'm really sorry. I'm trying to make commentary on this, but I'm so confused and lost. I'm just hoping that something changes like very soon. Otherwise, this might be a cooked video.
Yet I know why. It is the mighty lungs of the newest fire in our hearth, the new life for which we gather here to give thanks, to welcome into our family. He is strong. The smile is wide from all, but there is also a mild twitch. His endurance is good. He is loud and tenacious in signaling his displeasure. He shouts like a warrior born, crying his loudest at their disruption to his quiet, at being passed from one to another.
Wait, okay, you're talking about a kid now, right? Okay, I got that much.
So they may look in his eyes. I try not to smile, as I must play my part.
But if that's your kid, why are you not smiling, bro? That's yours.
And hence is he passed to me. My hands engulf him like a mountain swallows a careless climber. He is large for his age. I raise him up to me to look in his eyes as our family ritual demands. All look on now, but with a hushed awe, as the child looks into my eyes and stops. His tears cease, and his features take on a calmness I can only recognize when I look in a mirror. He reaches for my finger and squeezes it, and then, like a blessing that washes away the awe on each face and replaces it with the heat of love, the smiles are infectious.
I'm really sorry. I please tell me this isn't the whole video. Okay, I see the big dragon boy in like a little bit.
As the tiny bell of his laugh chimes throughout this gathering.
If it doesn't change soon, we're not doing this video.
But he is as ardent in his joy as he was in his previous consternation. All begin to laugh, even me. But then I notice it when he closes his eyes and opens them. For a fleeting second, I saw a tinge of red, an omen. I do not believe in such things usually.
I'm trying to be positive, but if this was not me recording, I would have clicked off by now. I'm gonna be real. I would have clicked off. The only reason I'm staying this long is to record. Please tell. Well, you're gonna tell me in the comments, and I'm gonna find out before you tell me in the comments anyway. I pray to the Egyptian gods this is not the whole video.
But it all adds up. He snuggles into my hands and begins to drop off. But I saw it.
No, you didn't see anything. Leave it there and just tell me about the salamanders. I don't want this. I don't want this random dude story.
Now, I must do something I have not done in 3 generations of my family.
Tell me the war, right?
Usually, I would process toward the mother. I would pass back the child, as I have done so many times. I would say nothing, and they would know I had given my blessing, had accepted the child into our family.
Okay.
But not so today. I stride, making a course between them at first, but at the last, I move toward the father. All now look.
Wait, are you not the father?
Gone in silence, in awe again. It has been so long. I approach the father, his eyes now wide as he looks up at me. In his shock, he almost forgets to open his arms to accept back his son.
Okay.
As I bend down to pass this most precious treasure back to his sire, I speak the words our family have always used. The words that were said when I was passed back to my own father so many years ago.
Okay.
I speak. His soul is strong, perhaps strong enough for 2 hearts. The father nods and
the fuck does that mean?
looks into his son's face with a newfound reverence. the mother's eyes tear up, a mixture of fear and pride in equal measure, as she moves to her husband's side to bask in the vision of her now slumbering son. Perhaps she fears, but when she looks up at me, she pretends the tears are ones of pride and joy. I will never know for certain if she pretends or no. I am only a man. For I...
What the fuck is going on? This is 7 minutes of the video. Okay, right. Okay, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit.
Son
because
of
I'm really sorry if you guys are enjoying this part. You guys can. I'm not. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not enjoying this part at all. Is it
flamer
change?
at my feet, and between the greenskins.
Is this all it is?
The listeners, I am Baldermort, and I wish to introduce
Wait,
you to the forces and facts.
Holy shit! Okay, it changed. Oh my god. Okay. Let me make sure it gets to the
No
probably
green skin
changes.
will pass.
Please tell me there's not another fucking life story. It's 10 minutes. What is it, bro?
Me this night. Welcome, gentle listeners. I am Baldermort, and I wish to introduce you to the forces and factions of the Warhammer 40k universe.
Are you sure you don't want to go on another solo that word that I can't say about some random guy's life story? Holy shit.
Today, I would like to expose a hidden truth, one that is disregarded or ignored by almost the entire community of the Warhammer fanbase.
Okay, we're getting more. You can't see it because of my overlay, but guys, we're halfway through the video. We're halfway through the fucking video.
Anyone who has heard of Warhammer will know one of the most repeated tropes. There are no heroes in the grim darkness of the future.
This is true.
Alas, I cannot agree with this analysis.
You're wrong, because there are no good people. Salamanders, I guess, are like one of the only good, quote-unquote good, but that's good in 40k terms, and 40k is horrific. So their good is like our version of a psychopath. Well, maybe not a psychopath, but like a career criminal, say.
For of all of the Adeptus Astartes, of all of the legions of the Emperor, all of the subsequent chapters from which they sprang, there is one order, one chapter, that stands alone in the Imperium. The
Raptors.
Salamanders. To this fraternity of warriors there is one pledge, one oath, that stands above all others. The Space Marines have always been likened to indomitable and brave futuristic knights who swear fealty to the master of mankind.
Yeah, like the Dark Angels. I've actually done like, I'll be real guys, I've done a full like 180 on Dark Angels. Before we started doing all this Warhammer stuff, I didn't like them. I thought they were cringe. Now, I actually know more about them and their lore and their like formation and stuff. I actually kind of like them. And I like their old school paint job. Their old school color scheme goes so much harder. So I no longer dislike Dark Angels. I now actually kind of like them. Not enough to make an army myself, but I like them.
They pledge to protect his realm, his Imperium. They pledge to show honor and courage in the face of their enemy, no matter how terrible in power or visage. They pledge to know no fear. But of all of the classical neo-heraldic pledges that are given, these mighty warriors, the Salamanders, take one their brothers do not.
They actually give a shit. As far as I'm aware, they give a shit about the people they side with. Hence the image of this guy carrying a guardsman, a wounded guardsman. Most, I was gonna say space angels, most space angels don't exist. No, most space marines, they wouldn't really stop what they're doing to help. They would just pursue their mission and just let them fucking die.
The pledge that separates them from their cousins in other chapters and legions. One that makes them more than their comrades in arms. For it gives them a nobility that is rarely spoken of, as it seems to fly in the face of the popular trope. They are the closest thing that this setting has to true heroes. For this pledge they adhere to above all
Yeah, okay, I don't know for sure. I think heroes might be a bit of a stretch, but they're the closest thing to a good guy, like a guy that actually gives a shit about other
Brothers,
people.
no matter the cost. They pledge to protect the weak.
Okay, that I can get behind. That I have a lot of respect for.
Chapters, rightly or wrongly, see things on a grand scale, the bigger picture. It is this excuse that is used when they ignore the predations of the local population by the Pirate King, the Elder Corsair, the Orc Raiders, the Chaos Invasions, the demonic attacks. When any other chapter of Space Marines is faced with an enemy, they will use this excuse to charge into them, to bombard them, to take
What's wrong with that? That's counterattack,
the
right?
heads of their leadership in a decapitating strike, all the while ignoring the plight of the very humans that make up the Imperium, the very thing
Oh. Okay, there's my
or
answer.
Marines have been oathbound to protect. They deploy the same
Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah. Like most, like they're there. Like Space Marines were made. Okay, so I'm not the biggest lore buff on Space Marines. I can talk to you about the Necrons like fucking forever, but Space Marines are still I'm still learning. I'm pretty sure they were made as like to defend the Imperium, and by that means people. But most of them forget that, and they're just like, ah, they're casualties of war. Those innocent civilians we just wiped out to fucking get rid of a Xenos threat. They're just casualties of war, and they just don't think about it and
excuse,
move on.
the same justification. The chapters of Space Marines, the Astartes, are to destroy the enemies of mankind. They are to reduce overall casualties by removing the threats.
Yeah.
If a million human beings are to die in a siege, this is a numbers game. It is a drop in the ocean.
See what I mean? See what I mean by how just like unsympathetic a lot of them are, and just like, well, 1,000 humans die here, but 25 million elsewhere get to live, so it's all
Other
good.
chapters will state that by sacrificing the millions in a hive to being bait for the destruction of the threat, no matter what it may be, that they safeguard all others the enemy would slay. The losses are acceptable in the bigger, grander scheme of things. They feel righteous. But they merely deploy this excuse to shroud their utter disregard, their implicit and callous contempt and nonchalance.
Oh, okay, that actually makes sense. Yeah, okay, I get that. Yeah, that, I can believe that. Especially some chapters.
Loss of normal human life. It is not difficult to see why. The vast majority of Space Marines cut off all ties to their family, their homeworld, and normal humanity. They removed these ties as they state they will be distractions, will muddy waters, and will cause conflicts of priority and remove the perspective that is required for the Astartes.
Yeah, like every I think it is only the Salamanders. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's just the Salamanders that are still allowed families. Every other Space Marine is like removed from them, or they're like, I guess, raised by the state and then taken into being Space Marines, so they don't have families.
View the greater whole. But the Salamanders do not believe this, and do not do this. For the Salamanders are one of the only chapters that keep families and culture and love at the
See, I know some
very
things.
heart of their endeavors, always at the
Also, I'm pretty sure someone in the comments told me that like a while ago, and I'm just remembering it. So, it wasn't me. It kind of goes to them.
of their minds. A salamander is permitted to maintain contact with his family, is encouraged to take whatever scant time they may be given to be with their loved ones, their normal human kith and kin. Not for the Salamanders is the numbers game, the bigger picture, for they believe that they are the very center of their families, the very center of the human race.
I mean, they're big enough. I'm pretty sure if they walked up to like a family gathering, they're gonna be center of attention just because of their size alone. You guys might forget, these guys are like 8 foot tall, I think, right? They're bigger than Spartans from Halo, and Spartans from Halo are fucking huge. These guys, even fucking bigger than that, even out of their armor. Like, the armor gives them more, like, bulk and height, but even outside of that, they're still big boys.
And they will defend any and all. A salamander would never abandon convoys of civilians to the ravages of a horde of greenskins simply to strike at a war boss, as was clearly shown on Armageddon, much to the chagrin of their allies.
Wait, what happened on Armageddon?
The salamanders do not consider the loss of even one single life to be acceptable if it can be avoided. They would stand and hold.
Good. If more stage-run chapters had this mentality, the Imperium might be a nicer place, just saying.
Hold the line, would fight with the same fervour and implacable rage to defend the smallest shanty town of huts as other chapters would the very gates of the Imperial Palace on Terra.
Damn.
The salamanders never forget that they are, above all things, human. Something that all...
I'm pretty sure most of the other chapters forget that. And I mean, to be fair, they're human, but only just. I don't think there's a lot left that makes them human, but they're very close to not being human anymore. Like they're I guess they're super. Yeah, they are super soldiers,
too
right?
often their brothers parrot and profess, but do not seem to actually believe. Not really. Not in their hearts. Their goal is the destruction of their enemies, with the saving of human lives as almost an afterthought, a convenient byproduct. They live for the fray. Not all, but most.
Well, I mean, they were made to be like super soldiers that were there to kill the enemy, so it makes sense that most of them prioritize getting their job done and killing their enemies over protecting, even though I guess protecting is like a byproduct. Like, if we kill this enemy, that means these people are safe, that kind of logic.
Not so the Salamanders. And always has it been this way. The Salamanders, the 18th Legion of the Legiones Astartes, were ever a legion who were willing to sacrifice and be sacrificed for others. Indeed, they are, in the opinion of this bard, the most noble of all of the Space Marines. Originally, they were dubbed the Fire Dragons. In the end stages of the Unification Wars, they were...
Okay, that name goes so much harder than Salamanders. I'm gonna be real. Fire Dragons, that sounds so much cooler. Like, Salamanders, I think of a little, like, lizard, like a little gecko. It's not intimidating or scary. But a fucking Fire Drake, yes, fucking...
almost wiped out.
Is 30k just cooler than 40k? I'm starting to realize the Dark Angels code scheme went fucking hard in 30k. The Salamanders had a better name in 30k.
But they were sent into a battle that most thought they would never return from at all. The entire 20,000 warriors of the 18th Legion were to be used in one assault. An impossible task, from which only 1,000 of them returned. But return they did. The assault of the Tempest Galleries, a battle that has resounded through history.
I've literally never heard of it. I'm sorry, I've never heard of it.
The Caucasus Wastes was the last remaining rogue state that had not bent the knee to the Emperor in his campaign to unify Terra, Earth.
Okay.
They had shielding that was impossible to be brought down, so the Emperor, in his wisdom, located the source by which these shields were powered. It was...
Wait. The Emperor? Oh, wait, okay, so this is during, like... I'm gonna guess the Horus Heresy stuff then, right? If so, I know fuck all about it.
Far underground. Almost impossible to reach. The 18th were sent via vast digging torpedoes into the caverns under the city-states of the Caucasus Wastes.
Digging torpedoes? What?
The Tempest Galleries. None truly expected them to be victorious. None truly believed any would return. But they were
okay, so
wrong.
suicide mission. Like Mass Effect 2, suicide mission.
The Salamanders fought a battle so important, an adversary so terrible. I needs must come back to this at another time to do it proper justice.
Oh shit, okay.
They went no.
Damn, Bruce teasing us here with something epic. It's just like, I'm not going to tell you today. No.
They may be sacrificed for the greater goal, the unification of Holy Terra, the birthplace of humanity, Earth. But importantly, they went without complaint. They went not as lambs to the slaughter, but as men with heads held high. They did the impossible. They brought down those impenetrable shields and permitted 6 other legions and the Emperor's own bodyguards, the 10,000, the Custodes, to sweep into the side of the last resistance and crush it all.
Let me guess. They got no fucking, like, fame for that. They were forgotten and just not thanked for their sacrifice. If that's the case, that's fucked up. That is fucked up if they just get forgotten about sacrificing like that.
Their actions sealed the end of that terrible war and permitted the domination and unification of Terra. But they did one thing none believed they could. They came back. Out of 20,000 sent, a mere 1,000 returned.
20,000 were sent into that, and only 1,000 came back. Excuse me, what?
Forever after were their numbers fewer than their brother legions. But a legion they did eventually become again.
Wait, well, I didn't even realize. This was the entire chapter? 20,000 was the entire chapter. That is insane that only fucking 1,000 came back. That makes it even worse.
When this was achieved, it was most often that the Salamanders were kept as a strategic and tactical reserve by the Emperor's armies during the Great Crusade.
Sense.
They would be sent to defend worlds that had been brought into compliance, that were threatened, but too far from the front to have the crusading legions turn about in time. They became known as the Defenders of Humanity, as they intercepted raiders, crushed unforeseen orc incursions, or any threat that occurred behind the lines of the crusade as it
Oh shit, so literally good boy behavior.
pushed further and further out into the galaxy. It has been a mantle that they have worn with pride. It has been one that they have worn over all of the 10,000 years of the Imperium, never slipping, never dropped. For the Salamanders will defend humans, no matter the cost to themselves.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Salamanders are cool. I'm gonna say it now, Salamanders are cool. Not enough for me to make an army of them. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna get them on the tabletop. But I respect the fuck out of them. They are cool. I just wish they weren't green.
Well, most other chapters will always weigh up the benefit and loss of their intervention, will always balance their losses to the damage done to the Imperium before intervening. The Salamanders do not. They will stab.
Ooh, that knot was aggressive. Holy shit, bro's mad.
They will attack. They will burn. They will fight to the bitter end in the defense of the common human as no other. The Salamanders are still Astartes, are still Space Marines, are still things of fire and wrath, and built and trained, equipped and programmed for one thing only: war. But of all of the legions.
But they secretly have a big heart. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Of all of the chapters, they are the only ones I can honestly say deserve the title of
Good
Knights.
Boys. I was gonna disagree and say Dark Angels, but no, Knights were there to protect people. They literally were there to protect people and go on, excursions to root out enemies and stuff like that, and they would descend people, so yeah, okay, I'll give you that one.
I have been Baldermort, your faithful servant. If you have enjoyed this introduction to the Salamanders.
I feel like we were just getting... Okay, alright. I'm going to assume it's just his outro stuff, so we'll let it play.
Then please do consider liking and subscribing. If you are a regular gentle listener, then please do also consider supporting us on Patreon. If this is not possible, then perhaps just a share. I would like our tribe to grow, shall we say. Now, no matter what you do today, do try to make some time for fun.
That's the end. That was a nice outro. Oh, okay. Interesting video. Very different. Very, very different. I do remember now, at the end of this video, I do remember, one of you in the comments saying something about him writing fan fiction or something at the start of his videos. So don't take anything about the start of the videos as canon, as like sexual. I see now. I understand though. That was brutal. I'm not gonna lie, this video is good, okay? I actually enjoyed when he started talking about the lore and describing the salamanders and all that stuff. That was cool. I liked that. The part of the beginning that was half the fucking video, no thank you. I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I don't want any more of that. That was rough. That was very rough. But on the whole, I like that video. And I'm very curious to see how this video performs, and more importantly, what you guys thought of it. If you like this, let me know in the comments. If you didn't, also let me know in the comments. I'm completely open to you guys saying, nah, not this cheat, move on to something else. Maybe we just watched a really long-winded one. Maybe there's some like shorter ones out there that are better. If you have any other recommendations, let me know. I am trying to like cover the basic regions, so we all have like a general understanding of them. So we've done the Dark Angels, we've now done the Salamanders. Next will probably either be Raven Guard, the White Scars, Iron Warriors, or, and I saw your comments, I saw them all, Night Wards. I saw that. I saw you guys like Night Wards, so we'll throw them in too. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this one. I'm conflicted. I enjoyed the second half, hated the first half. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!